Hi, I'm Anatole. This is my review of Twilight Zone, the original series, Season 1, Episode 10, titled Judgment Night. It received a score of 7.4 on IMDb. And full disclosure, I have seen this episode because the Twilight Zone is such an older series. I think most people can say that about some episodes. However, I have been doing a review of the series starting with Episode 1, and it had been my intention to just do a review, not a reaction video, to this episode, Judgment Night. But I'm hoping to get a few more views for my series, and I've noticed the reaction videos tend to get more views than the reviews. So full disclosure, I have seen the episode already, but if the reaction video gets more views than the reviews, then going forward I will continue to do these as reaction videos. However, there will still be cases where I've seen the episode before, so it won't be a pure reaction. So, however, the long and short of it is I have seen the episode before, but going forward I won't watch them before doing the reaction video. So that's all you need to know. Basic information before I play the video. The episode aired December 4th, 1959. It was written by Rod Serling, and one interesting bit of information that I learned, it was either, there are two sources I'm using as reference material, and they are the Twilight Zone Companion and Twilight Zone Unlocking the Door to a Television Classic. Those are the two books I read in preparation for my reviews and now for the reaction video. And the storyline for this was based on a sermon that Rod Serling heard. And what's very interesting is that it came full circle. After the episode aired, he got a call from another minister who saw the episode that he had written, Judgment Night, and decided to write a sermon based on the episode. So a sermon inspired the show, which inspired a sermon. And the fact that Rod Serling based this episode on a sermon shows that while some episodes are just, they exist only for the twist. They are entertainment vessels with a twist to draw the viewer along. Some of them, there is a moral component. There is the judgment that falls on the character, and there is an idea of what is right and what is wrong. And here you can see that Rod Serling wrote this episode based on a Judeo concept of right and wrong. And not every episode has that. Some of them just have ironic ending. The person gets the thing that they were trying to avoid, and that's it. It's just a well-written episode. But for this, there was the idea of what morality is, and so that will play into the theme and the plot of the episode. Okay, so that's all I got for now. Let's get to it. And here is the episode. I really think Rod Serling is one of the best writers ever for TV, and I usually like these intros, but this poetry is just overblown. Stalked by unseen killers, steel periscopes of unseen killers. It's just a bit much. That's a great shot with his eyes right there. It's really good. So the main captain is played by the actor Nehemiah Perstoff. I think he does a really good job. I think the acting in this series is usually underappreciated. I like the stuff that happens with the mother there. I just wish it was developed a little more. It's one of my criticisms of the episode. Look what he's doing with his eyes. It's moving them back and forth. His acting is really good. He looks like he's uncontrolled. He's saying things that he has no control over saying. It's just coming out. It's so good. Oh. Sorry, I have a drinking problem. It's an airplane joke. No, thank you. That won't be necessary. It's a huge psychological component. The way he jumps at the porter coming to clean the tea off of him. So in other words, it's implying he's got a guilty conscience. Boy, yeah, it didn't occur to me the first couple times I watched the episode how strong his acting is. It is not theatrical, it's all for the camera, those pauses, the way his eye movements are going. Okay, so just a slight pause. This is my first time recording with the computer. You see the flat screen TV, that's what I've been using. So the dimensions of where I need to put the camera are different with this computer. So what I've done is I've moved the camera forward. I wanted to get the screen just a little bigger in your image. And that necessitates me wearing the headphones for a short time to make sure the audio is okay. So now that I've taken care of that housekeeping, let's return to the episode. So I was thinking about Miss Stanley when I was saying I really liked that character, the mom, and wish she had been developed. I was thinking she was the character that should be developed more, and I'll give my reasons later. Patrick Macnee, who is in the Avengers, the TV show from England. It's a really good framing, the way they've got him in the middle of the shot there. They're both facing him so that you get the feeling of him being crowded in. Check out that lighting on that sailor's face, it's so good. Now this is where we lose a tight perspective we've had. So far we've always been on Carl Lancer, but now all of a sudden we're with the captain and the first mate. I don't like that so much because of what the concept of the show is, of this episode. It's really nothing like drums there, the military sounding drums. Builds a lot of tension. And all this is just info dump, all this. And that sweat on his forehead, nice detail. See, so everything the captain said we learn here. It's redundant information, and it broke the tight perspective that we've had on Carl Lancer. So that should have been excluded, taken out. I like how that really builds dramatic tension because it's the time bomb. Something's going to happen at 1:15, so we feel as viewers, take care of this. We have to take care of it. It's urgent. Yeah, that's great camera work. Really good camera work. Oh, I love this. I like how they shot them in front of a screen to kind of give them the apparition, the appearance of apparitions. This is 1959. 1959. Great television cinematography, especially when you consider it was made in 1959. Great acting, so well done, this series. It should not have been as good as it was. Hear that echo in his voice, great sound production. And we get the lighting, nice lighting. Just top to bottom, everything so well done. One thing that the book Twilight Zone, Unlocking the Door to a Television Classic says is that his German, the actor's German, his, I want to say acting coach or a voice coach, I think maybe stunt double was also German, and he got into a major fight with the actor because the German pronunciation was so poor. That's the kind of shot that'll give you nightmares.
Oh, you have nerves, Merla.
In the accent of an American.
This is Judgment Night in the Twilight Zone.
And that's it for episode 10, Judgment Night. Join me in a second and I'll give you my brief thoughts about the episode. So see you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. And now my thoughts about the episode. I think that there are two flaws with the episode. One is in the plotting and one is in characterization. So for the plotting, because the Twilight Zone depends upon the twist to keep the viewer engaged and then surprised, there has to be a unique premise and it has to have a twist that we can't see coming. I think the premise on this one is strong, but the part where I have the fault is that the surprise isn't surprising. It's pretty easy to see where this episode is going. And I think one reason for that is that the first act, the character of Lancer is too passive. He isn't actively finding out that he is that he is a German captain trapped in a purgatory of his own making. Instead, he is a character with amnesia who, as we watch, gets these revelations that come to him like flashes of intuition. So that's passive. We have no stakes in this character. And so I think one solution for that would have been give the character something to do that would throw us off the case. So if we had seen that he is a private detective, he's entered the boat because he's trying to find out the identity of a suspected German collaborator. And as he gets on the boat, he gets involved with the woman on the boat because he thinks maybe she can help him solve this mystery. Who is the person that's giving information to Germans that's causing these boats to sink? And then the suspicion could fall on her. She is the informant because he's ruled out the main suspect, which was maybe the captain or the lieutenant of the boat. And then we get the scene of maybe the porter finding the hat, which has the name of him as the German captain. And that could be the end of the first act. So at least we're more engaged. We would have more of a motivation in following this character. That is, that we're hoping that he will find who the person that's giving information to the Germans is that's causing these boats to sink. And then when there's the twist that he is the one doing it because he is just a spirit trapped in this perpetual purgatory, that would be a real surprise. We wouldn't see it coming. Our mind would be going to the right instead of to the left. So and then the perspective, because this is all a purgatory for him and maybe for the major, not lieutenant, the lieutenant, I think he pronounced it lieutenant. Maybe those two and everyone on the boat are trapped in this purgatory of reliving the night over and over again. The perspective should have been very tight. We should never leave the character of Lancer. So when we go to the captain, all he's doing is just giving exposition that we would find out anyway in the episode that creates the impression that this is reality instead of being a purgatory, especially for Lancer. If it's always in his mind, then that reality that it's his purgatory when you learn that it's his nightmare that he's living over and over again, it doesn't feel unearned. But if you create the impression that we can see the perspective of everyone on the boat, then it feels kind of cheap and a cheat when we find out it's really just his mind and he's living it over and over again. So that was the reason why I have problems with that perspective. I do, again, want to sing the praises of the actor who's so good. Everything about this episode was well done. Cinematography, music, direction, acting, so superb episode. My main problem was in the script, and as I've commented upon in my reviews for the previous 9 episodes, Rod Serling wrote these very quickly, so it becomes very hit or miss. There's not enough quality control, not enough rewriting to make sure that every episode had all the mistakes written out, the weaknesses were taken out in subsequent drafts. Instead, there were 1 or 2 drafts, and then he was done. So that means either he nailed it the first time, and then if he did a second draft, he just polished, or he missed the mark. And I think this is one of those episodes where he missed the mark because of weaknesses in the script. And that's all I got. So I hope you'll join me again next time for episode 11 of Twilight Zone. That's it for episode 10, season 1, Judgment Night. Until next time, take care and be well. Goodbye. Hi. Try again. Hi. Hi. Hi.